Yeah, there you go, friends. Doc South here, and just got back from a rather nice excursion with my brother Ed. Um, I called Ed earlier this morning saying I wondered if he wanted to go riding with me. I had to go return some uh, very necessary keys to the supermarket I work at, the Acme up in Blairstown. And for some reason, I left them in my pocket, and I realized, man, they're going to need some of these keys. They opened some important doors and such, and so I had to do that. Ed said, "Well, he'd ride along with me, and today just for the fun of it." And he said, "I'll show you some." He says, "I've done a lot of driving around the Blairstown, New Jersey area, up there around the Water Gap and such." He says, "Maybe I can we can ride for a little bit if you'd like." I said, "Well, sure." I said, "Quite honestly, I'm always taking basically the same road home or up to the store where I work, uh, and then every day, and then turn around when I'm done with my chores at the Acme. I go home the way I came, only the other direction." Thinking it's beautiful. Well, he says, "Wait till you see some of the stuff I'll show you." And so we went up today and basically dropped off got the information I needed from the Acme and dropped off the keys I had uh, forgotten to give back, the other day. Everyone was pretty happy about that. And then, gosh, we went out the door of the store and up to Ed said, "Now here, hang a let's hang a left." And I said, "Okay." And we and then another left. He said, "We're off the main road now." And he says, "Here, I'll take you right straight through Blairstown Central." And I couldn't believe it. I have never gone through there, but boy, I'm going to go again and again now. It's a town that's like it's like from the old Western days almost, or Victorian days anyway. I mean, sure, there's some modern homes, of course, but there's a lot of the older buildings and older looking stores and such. And then once you got out of town, very pretty vistas, roads to take. You need a good map. You need to keep a good map with you because I think you could get yourself lost pretty quick. And, but we must have been poking around, whew, driving here and there for, at least an hour, just one around one bend after another. And it was just pretty. And, and again, you honestly felt like you should, instead of a car, you should have a horse and buggy, or a horse or a mule team or something. It just didn't seem like, our time. it just, it just, no, it absolutely did not. And, um, it was just so neat to see. And a lot of it nicely preserved or at least still standing. It's you'd have to go see it. I don't know how else to put it. I would assume there's restaurants in the town I didn't notice, but you could look that up in a guide of some sort. And if there isn't a restaurant in town, I think there is, but if there isn't, there's towns all around that would have something. Certainly down in Hope. But Hope, Blairstown, and the towns beyond, all up there in that northwest corner of New Jersey, near the Water Gap. There, we went past mountains. I didn't believe there'd be. It was just amazing how high they were, and how beautiful it all was. I'm just saying, you might want to take a look. Just saying. If you got any, you know how I post these on my YouTube site, feel free to, and I'll probably post this on my Facebook page too. Feel free to put anything you care to say, in the liner notes underneath. Okay, because I think the more people know about the place, the better. If nothing else, for the people that like to travel around and visit one place or another, this is good. Another thing I should mention is in the town of Great Meadows, there's a store. It's hard to spot, but it's right near the road that takes you up to Hope off of Route 46. You take Route 46, and there's, I believe it, well, you turn, you make a right, and you go about 5 or 6 miles. You're in the town of Hope. Okay. Well, before you go to turn to Hope, about a tenth of a mile on Route 46, heading west, just before you get to the Hope Road, there's Nikon's store. Nycuns. I might be misspelling it, but Nikon's store. It's a grocery store, but very old fashioned, and has probably been there forever. Man, do they have a good buttered roll and a coffee? Oh, mamma mia! And a lot of people in there getting their morning cup. I'm going to start stopping there. Man, I couldn't believe it. And the rolls, whoa, mama, are they good? I don't know if they make them there or not. I don't know, but it's a grocery store, but it's a grocery store. I would say from the 20s. Yeah, in other words, it's not a ShopRite, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with ShopRite, but this is an old country. This would be the store you'd go to many, many years ago, but people still do. And I had no clue it was there. So Sandy looked at me funny. She says, everyone knows Nikon's store. I had no idea what it was like inside. Absolutely amazing. It was almost, you'd almost think it was an antique shop, but no, it was food. Perfectly good food. Not antique food. No, they're not selling you a roll from 1874. No, not even close. I mean, it's a nice fresh roll from made probably last night, and it was good, I might add. But yeah, you get the idea. You might want to poke your head in the door there. Um, it was amazing. Anyway, I thought I'd say. I'll catch you later. God bless. Good old Northwest New Jersey, Mamma Mia. Love it. See you now. Bye bye.